Star Wars fans, rejoice, because we're here with the top 4 of our regional. Now, we've already spoiled the finals game. That one came out a while back. You can catch that at this link here. But we wanted to get some more Star Wars games out, get some eyes on this stuff, because it's fantastic. And we're going to jump right in here. This is the first game of the top 4. This is Tim Bunn versus Zach Bunn. And I am joined by the latter. So, Zach, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited to watch this match back and see what happens.
Are you worried that you made some mistakes?
I probably did.
Yeah.
A lot's been learned since then.
You know, the thing about Star Wars, I find that it's easier to make mistakes in Star Wars than it is a lot of other games, because there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot going on, and the way that the combat resolves can just get crazy. You have to take a lot of risks sometimes in order to get your plan activated. And that really revolves around the edge battle and the edge enable icons, and even just who strikes first. It all has such a huge effect, so I'm excited to see if maybe there's some things that could have been done better, or maybe you just played a perfect game.
Very likely there are things that could have been done better here, so we'll see.
So you're opening with Smugglers and Spies as your affiliation. Tim's got Imperial Navy. So what's your thinking at this point in the game?
You really can't tell much from the opening affiliation. He could be going all Sith. I could be going all... Obviously, I can't go Smugglers. He knows I'm going one direction or the other. And at this point, you just really don't know.
Yeah.
There's just no way to predict.
Now, what is it about the Smugglers and Spies affiliation that kind of drew you to opening with that? Is that just simply so you have a little bit more access to things like Han Solo, so that in case you don't draw your objectives, you can still play cards out?
So my typical objective setup is I'll start one affiliation and I'll run 2 or 3 objective sets from that affiliation, and the rest will be whatever else I'm running, so that I can guarantee I at least get one objective out from whatever else is in my deck. But ultimately, it's in my deck, so I can run Han Solo.
Nice. So Tim dropping Follow the Jedi. Looks like Death and Despair and Imperial Command. And you got questionable contacts, so resource match won't be an issue. Message from Beyond and Defense of Yavin 4. And we're going to go ahead and throw up a link here to one of the more recent podcasts that we've done, where we really laid out kind of Star Wars, and you and myself talked a lot about the deck building mechanic and how to build a deck in Star Wars. So if you guys are interested in hearing more about that, you can check it out on this podcast, and it'll be a good time. Hopefully you'll learn and enjoy kind of the lessons that we've learned over time playing this game so much. But going back to Tim with Imperial Navy, it's obviously a Sith splash. Looking, it could be good or bad. He may have a lot of Sith cards in that deck that aren't now going to be able to be played because he's only got that one resource. I'm going to play one Sith card a turn. That could hurt him in the long run.
Yeah, I'm curious, after seeing his objective set flop, basically, as to what exactly he is running in his deck, because he does only have one Sith. He did open with 2 double resource Imperial cards.
Yeah, nasty.
So, starting with 6 resources, if he drew into like the Emperor or something, he could play him on turn 1. Obviously, he didn't, but it's not a bad setup for him, honestly.
Yeah, now only used 4 resources, interesting to note, but put out 2 Stormtroopers, holding on to a few cards, has no resources open for events of any kind, so I don't know. I feel like that those 6 resources, it's really nice if you can explode out first turn to me with those guys, but Tim's going to play it cool and maybe do that next turn. That's kind of the advantage of not tapping them out immediately.
The nice part about it, as the dark side, is you don't really have to rush into anything, because maybe I play one character or something. Getting 2 cards out of your hand is important, so you can draw back up and get what he needs, and he still has the option to play maybe the Devastator or the Emperor or just some beefy character if he draws into it.
Now, you discarded a comm there, and I find that I often do the exact same thing. There's some cards in these objective sets that find their way either in the discard pile or the edge stack almost exclusively because they're pretty conditional, and the one time you use it, it's awesome, and then the 20 times that you don't, it's still serving a function. So that's one of the cool things about this game, is that cards are always doing something, even if you're checking them to the edge battle, or even just cycling them out so you can get a better card.
Yeah, Coleman's not a card you want early.
Yeah. No.
That's just if that's in my opening hand, I'm usually dropping that out.
I'm out. Looks like I see a Luke in your hand there. That's always good to see.
I think I also see a Yoda.
Tough choices.
Not the worst of circumstances.
Yoda comes out, and I'm going to guess that he goes right to the Force. Am I right?
Now, just so you, he's
Yes,
totally
I
getting
am.
the Force.
That's essentially, and this is the most flavorful Yoda that I've seen out of anything, because this is a Yoda that serves all the functions you would expect Yoda to serve. Can be awesome in combat if he has the Force, if you win the edge battle and he has all those edge enabled
But you
icons.
have to win the edge battle, or he stays in hiding.
If you put a lot of time into him and invest resources and enhancements on him, he can be a beast. He can also just sit there and meditate on the Force the entire game and keep it for you. He can also almost nearly guarantee that you win an edge battle. So Yoda, exceptionally versatile card, and really plays to the flavor, I think, of what Yoda represents in the Star Wars universe.
Now, I really love, as a light side player, stealing the balance back on turn 1.
Yeah,
because
big
of
deal.
Because of how much it slows the game down.
Yep.
There comes that Emperor we were
And
talking about.
that is the first turn Emperor with 2 Stormtrooper squads. This is a really strong stalling board for Tim. He's going to be able to, and he takes it back. Nice juggle going on. This is a great board for Tim right here.
How has that ever happened?
Great board.
It is a great setup. Now,
Force robbed by Emperor with Yoda.
this is good. That's a good setup for Tim.
Not a whole lot more to say, yeah. And he still has plenty. The thing is about he only dropped the Emperor, so he has plenty of cards for these edge battles. If you decide to come in and get frisky, he's got the juice to make the Emperor go first and lock everything
Now,
down.
the real cost to this, if you'll notice, on Tim's next turn, he's going to have 2 resources.
Correct.
So that's a big deal here, and I'm going to see if that slows his tempo down.
I mean, how does that affect your plans at all here?
Oh, absolutely. I know that if I can play a character, get rid of 1 or 2 of his characters, he's going to be light for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
With Luke in my hand, I mean, with targeted strike, you almost have to block.
Yeah,
So,
he's got to throw Emperor on that. And I'm thinking here that knowing that Tim can't really reinforce his board next turn, you have the luxury of really getting set up here. You kind of feel rushed as light side, but there's no rush. You can get cards out on the board, try to get an overwhelming number. He gets his 2 resources. You come back, play out even more stuff, and then you can launch your offensive. Hopefully, with a really strong hand for that edge battle.
Yeah, this is going to be. It's really going to be pinned on how this next set of turns goes. But him only having 2 resources is going to put him in a bad spot if I can get anything good going.
Yeah, it's such a risky attack on your end, though, here. I mean, Palpatine is so ready to just completely shut it down. And if he throws the Stormtroopers in as well, you have the chance to lose everything. That edge battle would be tremendously important. And having to think about how the light side's going to find their way out of this one, if they are. So Luke coming in.
If anyone can do it, Luke, right?
I've never seen a more thematic board here. We have Yoda, a Twi'lek loyalist, and Luke versus Palpatine and some Stormtroopers. And you not too hot on resources yourself. Only 4. Haven't seen any boosters there, any enhancements to make that better. Even duty off like random stuff that has resources. So you're not exactly in a position to launch a huge offensive either.
No, not necessarily, but I believe I have a lightsaber deflection in hand.
I saw that, yeah.
So if I can get Tim to put a Stormtrooper in and do a damage and I can bounce it to the Emperor, then Luke could potentially finish him off. And it's worth noting, I have 2 tactics icons on the board.
Yeah.
So I could potentially attack with Yoda and the Loyalist and see what Tim does and fire some tactics at him, but we'll see what happens. Because if I can remove the Emperor here, he's in a bad spot.
Yep. I kind of like the Loyalist going in here solo.
I love soloing the Loyalist, man.
Just put the Loyalist in here solo. He's got to defend. He's got to waste a Stormtrooper on it. You could even deflect that.
Absolutely.
And if you win that edge battle and then you get your deflection, you could take a Stormtrooper out if you wanted.
If I attack with the Loyalist, his best move is actually probably blocking with the Emperor.
I think so.
Because there's no threat of dying.
Yep.
And if he does win the edge battle, he locks my entire board down. If he
Correct.
loses the edge battle, then I lock his Emperor down, and he's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. See, this is where Star Wars, to me, is so fascinating. No other game really has the the combat decisions I feel like that this one does. Just because there's so many unknowns going into a combat. That edge battle is such a huge mechanic. And, you know, at first, when I first started playing this game, I thought it was a bit gimmicky. Like, I thought it was just kind of a weird, random mechanic that didn't mean much. Now that I'm deck building a lot more, I'm paying attention to the amount of cards in my hand when I go into the conflict phase. It is a significant thing in this game, and it's quite beautiful now that I've really come to terms with it. Look at this.
I think I'm thinking really hard here how to bait Timmy into the lightsaber deflection.
Yeah.
I really think that's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Yeah.
Because another option here really is I could attack with everything.
Yeah. You lose that edge battle, it hurts.
Yeah.
It's really how confident you are in scoring this edge battle. And, you know, for Tim, he's got a full hand. He'll get refilled next turn, so he's a lot more likely to just really go for the edge battle. He can chuck all the cards if he needs to.
I passed, by the way.
You just completely passed.
Passed. He's only going to have 2 resources. I couldn't see a way of it mathematically working out really in my favor.
Edge battle just a little too risky.
So...
And that is where that mechanic is awesome. It's just a lot of risk, and you are, as anyone who's followed you for the past, 4 or 5 years now of online games of various kinds, should know that you are quite risk adverse.
I like hedging my bets.
Yes. So,
'Cause,
not
I mean,
willing to take the chance.
Really, if you look at the board, the fact that he's going to get 2 here and I'm going to get 4 on my turn,
That Sith resource.
I'm in a better position.
Plays nothing that really matters on the board here.
What? Give him a blaster pistol.
Vader's lightsaber on Palp.
Now, at this point, I realize Tim is just trying to get cards out of his hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's setting up. He's going to have 6 resources the next turn, and he can pretty much do whatever he wants. So I've got to take advantage of this turn right here to make the magic happen.
Yeah, and you're probably happy to see 2 cards out of that hand. That's about the best you could imagine for a 2 resource. Now the edge battle is a lot less likely
I'm
to swing in
curious.
his favor.
That Vader's lightsaber, if he'd left a resource open, I would have had to at least think he had something. And it's 2 Force icons. So we'll see if there's an edge battle that matters here.
Yeah.
I imagine there's going to be.
And it looks like R2-D2 is discarded, and you draw back up. Now, I wonder if you would have chucked R2-D2 had he had 1 resource open.
That's not R2-D2.
Oh, is that the emergency repair?
Yeah.
Okay. With R2 on it.
The R2 card. I believe I just saw myself draw a Old Ben Spirit, which is not a bad thing to have right here.
Yoda loves those Old Ben Spirits. He loves them.
He doesn't need to get better with those.
And so does Luke. Which makes more sense, technically, but Yoda gets offense and defense out of that card, so it's hard to not throw it on that guy. Edge battle, you know already it's building up to it. It's going to be ridiculously important. I'm just kind of waiting to see where this goes. There's so many white icons on that board. And Luke with a huge threat.
Let's dance, T-Bones.
Palpatine with a blaster icon might actually be a good thing for you, giving you a better chance of launching that lightsaber deflection.
It's true. Had he only known.
Old Ben's.
Yeah. You're having to think who's it going to go on. I think that's okay there. Edge battle becomes even more important. But it's also a really big threat. I mean, Yoda now becomes not only a tactics threat, but an objective threat and a character threat. And
Now-
he's Shichoed.
I think ultimately why I went this direction is I'm pretty sure I'm planning to attack with Yoda. And in this way, he can't block with Palpatine because I can kill him if I win the edge battle.
Right.
So I want to put the Old Ben Spirit on him so that if he has a Force Lightning, he can't just off Yoda.
Yeah. Yeah, so this gets troublesome because he has to block Yoda, or he gets focused down.
And then Luke comes in for the...
But yeah. This is just... And that Loyalist actually playing a really nice role here as that spoiler tactics icon that you can do some fun things with. And you guys both know that this is
the moment.
terribly important.
A good old twist here could change the game. All
So
three.
you're going to swing with everybody.
That is your time.
A single objective.
Swinging everyone in a single objective.
What do you do here if you're Tim?
You know, I was thinking about that. Me personally, I think I would just throw a stormtrooper into this. I'd let the objective go.
Try to win the edge battle?
I would just want you to chuck cards into the edge battle. Then I'd come back with a full hand. All your guys are focused down. Palpatine's going to make that redundant on everyone. Luke could be an issue just because he's going to remove that focus at the start of your turn. But I think coming in with 6 resources and a full hand for Tim could be a big win here. So he does a form of that. Going to go ahead and bring the stormtroopers out.
I think what I'm wanting here is for the stormtroopers to block so that I can deflect the damage to Palpatine and kill him with Luke.
Yeah, that's going to be awful. This is not at all what you want, but like, how much can you plan for lightsaber deflection?
I think you can plan for it.
Heat a battle and a twist. Nice. Nice. I see a Force Lightning in Tim's hand.
And a force choke. That's a hand right
Man,
there.
hard to get rid of those. I don't think you check these right here. I don't think you check these.
The problem with force lightning.
I think you wait.
Do one Emperor instead. Hello.
That is a good thing for me.
Yep.
I deflect the force choke, so I still have the character.
Yep. But see, I think Tim is still okay here. He comes in with a full hand. He can attack with Palpatine, lock down Luke, play a Force Lightning.
No, Palpatine's going to be dead.
Yeah, I know.
Palpatine's totally going to be dead, and his other guy's going to be focused down.
That's a shame.
So if I focus with the Twilight, the non-committed Stormtrooper, he's then going to have to put 2 focus token on the committed one. I strike to kill the Emperor with Luke, and then I strike to kill the other Stormtrooper with, yeah.
That's the worst it could have gone.
Yeah, we'll do one here. We'll focus here.
I should have done that the other direction.
Yeah.
Oh, I did damage.
Yeah,
there
you
it is.
did the thing.
That's the appropriate way.
I don't know. I'd be tempted to throw 2, or it's only 1, yeah, so you may as well kill the Loyalist. Emperor's dead.
This is a big,
Just like that.
big swing.
That's awful. Ugh. 7 resources off the board.
I'll strike Yoda.
And Luke comes back in.
We'll do 3 to the objectives.
Yoda and the Stormtrooper should both have 2 on them.
Yes, they should.
He will do.
We'll see if you guys catch it.
Well, one of them's dead
So he gets 2.
Yeah.
from Yoda.
No, you focused him. I attacked with him.
No, I did
Caught it.
focus 10. Because I knew he was going to take 2. Yoda will put 1 here. And then do his damage there. And then, yeah, I already put 3 there.
Yes. Now Yoda should also have an extra one
Yes,
here,
he
but
should.
look at the change in board here. I'm gonna have a Luke who's not gonna be focused. I am out of cards in my hand though.
Yeah, massive.
I have a Yoda with an Old Ben Spirit on it, so Force Lightning's not gonna do much for Tim.
Massive.
And Tim's Stormtrooper's locked down for another 2 turns.
Yeah.
I feel a Vader coming. Just my thought.
And he's also down to 5 resources.
Yeah, the best, you've got a Yoda with the old bins on it, which isn't doing much because that Force Lightning is just going to eat that up. So Tim can't even really get Yoda off the board. And you forgot his response.
I forgot to take the focus off of Luke, so he is able to force lightning Luke.
Talk about a punishment, man. You will never forget that again.
That is a reaction. So
It
it's
is
not
voluntary, yep.
It is voluntary. I have not missed that since, by the way. That's awful.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember making that mistake, and I was just like, I cannot believe I just gave that up.
That's lessons learned the hard way right there.
Because with Luke on the board, it'd be good news for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, Tim eating up all of his resources on that Force Lightning, so.
Yeah.
Yoda Elite, so him not having 2 focus didn't matter in that instance.
I'll tell you, the card here would be a Han Solo.
I think right now these objectives are wide open.
Yeah.
I could easily, I think if you drop some objectives, some blast damage guys, you can get it done. But the Jedi aren't necessarily known for that kind of a thing.
Considering I'm not starting the Jedi affiliation, I can't have Red 5, so that's not happening.
Yeah. Unless I learn the hard way.
A Luke here would be really nice.
It would be, wouldn't it?
What is me failing there?
There's an objective damage. It's nice. And a little tactics icon. Not bad.
I love the list, man. That is one of my favorite one cost units.
I think, yeah, is that 2 lightsaber deflections in the hand now?
I cannot. I didn't catch
Yes,
that.
I mean, that's going to be an MVP card for this game.
Yeah. It looks like the one where I get an extra unit damage for each attachment or each enhancement.
Ah, yes.
These 2 on your bottom objectives.
Those 2 going on the bottom, I believe.
Yeah.
Blocking with the duty officer. Tim going to try to shut down your edge-enabled icons here, which would do a lot for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna swindle him back in.
Seeing if maybe there's a swindled on the way. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, man. What a good draw there. That's going to guarantee that objective's going to die.
And then I'm going to put another focus on the Stormtrooper.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And Mom was pitching in. Okay. See that? He'll focus. Put a focus here. It's gonna blow up too.
Oh, 1 focus Yoda. Committing the loyalists to take the Force.
It's a big deal. To really, I mean, we're halfway through the game for the dark side, so slowing it down is just a massive thing here.
We need 1 more objective, and we're going to see if...
that is not what Tim wants to see when I need 1 more. 4 health objective.
Yep. Yep. I see another Force Lightning in his hand here.
Question is, I mean, if you use it, you're using 3 of your resources.
It's a lot.
I mean, what? I'm
got
going to
6
lose the
up
Old
right
Ben
now.
Spirit, maybe?
Yeah, can't really do it. Don't want to waste it on the believer. But, you know, that Old Ben Spirit has got to go sometime.
The problem is I have the objective that lets me get his back.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's not worth it. The better option here is to try to lock him down with focus if he has it in his hand.
You got to try. Palpatine would be nice. Would have been nice.
Now, I'm curious here. I don't know exactly what he has in his hand, but playing a duty officer. No icons. It's an extra resource. But this game isn't lasting too much longer. Like, he needs to stop something here. So,
if nothing else, holding 1 for the edge battle.
having another card for the edge battle is super critical. And I talk a lot about the playing resources towards the end of the game and how they don't really pay you back.
Mm-hmm.
It seems good because you immediately get the resource back, but cards in the edge battle can be humongous.
Yeah, that's one Force icon that's not there. Force Light. Now, Emperor's Web lowered that to 2 costs, if I'm not mistaken. So that actually is not a bad idea.
Yep, he only paid 2 for it.
I mean, I think unless he has... same idea.
More resources.
That one doesn't have any Force icons, so kind of...
Still, I mean, having cards that make me think that you've got more going in, or that you could potentially, like, I could twist and it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
Extra cards are extra cards at this point.
Yeah, and you know, that Force Lightning, just didn't do anything.
Mm-mm.
You know, it really didn't. And I think I would have maybe even liked to seen it on the Believer instead of Yoda. At least you're taking an objective or blast damage off the board.
Discard here.
Yeah, I think the better move there would have been the Believer.
Yeah.
To get it off the board, because then it's going to be tougher for me
Oof.
to get the game with Yoda.
I
Yeah,
saw
that's-
Han and a Crossfire. That's just what you want.
that is exactly what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Emperor's Royal Guard can protect all at
See,
once, but
like-
you can ace it out.
Knowing that Tim is down to, he played 4 cards that turn. He's down to 2. If I drop Han and then go all in after an objective, the 4 health objective.
There's really no way to lose that edge battle.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless he's got like a twist and an Emperor.
he would have to have the Emperor, and if I happen to have a twist, he's really just in this like terrible spot.
Yeah, you just play 2. Yeah.
So that's it. Really is important, especially the dark side, to be keeping cards at the end.
He does have a Vader. It's a big icon there.
Vader and an orbital, which is a 2, I think, 2 or 3.
And I don't think I saw a twist on your end. Twist of Fate, for those that don't know or are kind of new to Star Wars, is a Fate card. So you place it in the edge battle, and it simply says discard all cards from the edge battle and restart it. So you can bait your opponent into playing a lot of cards, or in this instance, you can just make them hit max capacity with their cards, swipe the whole thing out, and then if you have at least 1 card left, you're guaranteed to win the edge battle.
Now, this is an interesting decision by me to soup Yoda up. And I think I ultimately am keeping Han for his Force icons.
Nice.
Because I know that if I can win the edge battle, I can win the game.
Yeah. Twi'lek's going to attack the top objective by himself. Interesting choice, of course, because that tactics icon is going to mean if you don't block me, I take away your defender. Really like that loyalist for that purpose.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. And I heard Tim ask there if I had another Swindled, because I've got the resources open for it. So if I tack this one down, I could bounce the other one and guarantee that I get the game.
Yep. No defense and the guard gets focused.
I didn't put the damage on the objective.
Cards in hand.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not even
That
what's
was not what
what's
you were paying
happening there.
attention to.
Alright, what was the attacking your top? That's what this was. Yeah, I'll attack your...
So this is a big edge, but I'm interested to see how this one resolves, actually, because
Could matter later.
Vader is about as big as an edge icon that you could imagine.
Outside the Emperor, it doesn't get bigger.
Next time?
Comes down to this, the duty officer versus Yoda.
Yoda and the Believer.
You're all in. Huh? What do you got?
He's all in.
You gotta hold 1, though, in case there's a twist,
I do indeed have to hold 1, and I did.
which you did.
Wow.
Game on.
By 1 Force icon, I win the edge battle and
That's
win the
crazy.
game.
That could have been awful.
And see, that's where a lot of people may have played Han.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, I'll play my best character down. But those Force icons are so critical. It's not as simple as just playing your best character.
Yeah, that edge battle was the way that it had to be. So, all right, so that's the first game. We'll move on to the second game. You can find it by following this link, and we'll see how the Zach versus Tim resolves. Now, Tim gets to 7 here on the Death Star dial. So
We'll see if
when you're dark side,
I can get it to 8.
your dark side, you got to get it to 8. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next game.